Every once in a while, a school will enter a school lockdown. Now, most of the time, these are just drills and they're just for practice. But what happens when they are not a practice? Well, tonight, I'm gonna be telling you guys 3 true, scary lockdown stories that have happened in a school. These include killer clowns, weird stalkers. If you want to see more scary stories like this, let's get 4,000 likes on this video. Smash the like button if you're brave enough to stick around till the end of the video, because each story will get creepier than the next. Are you ready? Well, here we go. Last year, during the killer clown craze, a few clowns threatened to come to our school on Twitter at 11 a.m. and kill us. The school picked up on this and sent out emails to all the parents to plan a school lockdown at 10:30. I was sitting in history class when I heard the familiar sound of a lockdown. The teacher rushed to the windows and doors, locking and closing the doors. To be honest, I thought it was just another boring lockdown with nothing exciting that was gonna happen, but this one was different. After 40 minutes of silence, sitting in the corner of the cold room, the emergency green flashing light turned off, and the air conditioning slowly fell silent. The hallway lights switched off, and the school had shut off the power. Why though? At this point, my classmates and I were staring at each other in confusion. We all knew that something real was going on. After about 10 minutes or so, we could all hear a faint banging sound coming from the corridor, shortly followed by heavy and fast footsteps. Someone was running down the hallway. They started banging on all the lockers and the doors, screaming, "I'll kill you all! Just die!" It was at this moment that a few girls started quietly crying. Then, the most terrifying thing ever happened. One of the clowns ran up to our classroom door and started banging and screaming. At this point, multiple people in my class were crying. One of my friends whispered to me, "We're all gonna die." I started crying too. The clown drifted away from our door and his voice slowly vanished as he moved away. After another 2 hours, the principal came on the loudspeaker, surprisingly explaining everything. He said that just after 11, 2 men dressed as clowns walked into the school. One with a kitchen knife and another one with a camera, running around the school threatening to kill students. After the police raided the entire school, they only managed to catch 1. Thankfully, no one was hurt. The school brought over 20 school buses to drive the children home, unless you were in the 9th grade, like I was. We were instructed to walk home in a very large group, and to call the police if we saw anything suspicious. I had a hard time at school that week. I kept thinking that the clown would return with a gun or something like that, but thankfully, nothing happened. Unfortunately for me, this experience will be scarred into my life forever. The second clown has still not been caught, but it seems like they have not been looking anymore, as it's been over a year. But the thought that the second clown could attack the school at any moment still haunts my mind and makes me a lot more cautious when I'm walking to school. Well, if you made it this far, congratulations. That was the first story, but hope you still got some snacks left, because the next 2 stories are even more disturbing. Are you ready? It was my sophomore year in high school. Prom was only 2 months away. I was pretty good at football, so I guess you can say I was part of the more popular kids. I never really forced relationships, but I found that women would just come to me. I also had heard that Sarah wanted to come to prom with me. Sarah was in the same grade as me. Sarah was one of those really beautiful girls. In fact, so beautiful that even the seniors wanted to date her. I knew that Sarah had just gotten out of a long-term relationship with another guy named Trent. He was a freshman at our high school, and something was a little bit off about him. Everybody in our school would talk about how there was something mentally wrong with him. Because of the recent breakup with Sarah and Trent, I didn't really want to ask Sarah to prom. All of Sarah's friends, on the other hand, harassed me to go to prom with her. They assured me that everything would be fine. Even my guy friends told me that I needed to just grow a pair and just ask her to prom. Finally, one afternoon in the parking lot, I intercepted Sarah and asked her out to prom. Sarah was delighted. I went home that evening feeling like I was on top of the world. However, that feeling of euphoria faded the moment I opened the Snapchat notification on my phone. It was from Trent. It was a friend request on Snapchat from Trent. Well, surely I can't just ignore him, so I figured I would just add him back. Immediately, I received a Snapchat message from Trent. The message read, "So I heard you asked out my girlfriend Sarah to prom." I quickly replied, "You guys broke up a month ago." He opened my message, but didn't respond. The last thing I wanted to do was run into Trent. I just felt so bad for him. All of this drama, I started to think that maybe it wasn't even worth it going to prom with Sarah. The next day at school, I didn't see Trent anywhere. I usually passed him on the way to a few of my classes, but not this day. It was a little bit odd that he wasn't here today, so after asking around, I found out that he didn't make it to school today. Well, at least there was no chance of running into him, I thought. My relief was crushed by a Snapchat notification from Trent. This time, Trent sent me a video. This was not a video that I wanted to watch. What could the video possibly be, I thought, but my mind just went blank. After about an hour, I decided to finally look at the video. The video was of a shooting range. Trent was recording in one hand, and he had a pistol in the other hand. The caption said, "This is you." And he proceeded to fire shots onto a target that was about 20 feet away from him. I was in shock. This can't be real, I thought. I thought I was in a movie. I told my friends what I had witnessed, and eventually, word had gone around the school. I was called down to the dean's office. Multiple teachers and faculty were there. I told them everything that I had seen. Right after telling them the story, my phone started to buzz in my pocket. I thought to myself, "Oh no, here we go again." I pulled my phone out, and it was Trent. Again, I told all the faculty members in the room that Trent had just sent me another video. They all gathered around in anticipation. I opened the video, and the video was of a crematorium. The video showed a body on a conveyor belt on the way to an incinerator. The caption said, "This is you." Everyone in the room, including myself, were horrified. Immediately, the principal put the entire school on lockdown and called the police. Trent was later arrested by the police. Trent was never charged with anything, but our high school expelled him. I found out that Trent's grandparents actually owned a crematorium, and that's where the footage came from. I still ended up taking Sarah to prom. Oh, the taste of victory tasted so sweet. She was just too beautiful to ignore. I never did receive another Snapchat from Trent, and I hope I never do. Wow, you made it this far. If you did, tap yourself on the back. Leave a comment that you made it this far, but don't celebrate just yet. The final story is the creepiest of them all. Are you ready for this? Good luck. It was a typical boring day of calculus, only it was Friday and it was the 7th period, which means that my week was almost over and spring break was finally upon us. We didn't have a test that day like a lot of my other friends with their teachers. So my teacher in the middle of the class decided to start playing games on Sparkle.com. He was a very laid back teacher back then, as we were doing some brand logo quiz. I remember the exact moment it happened. Right after my friend answered the question, I remember the exact same answer as he did. The dean's voice came loud through the speaker. He sounded panicked and frantic as he told us and the teachers that this was not a drill and that we were going into a lockdown. I actually got the chills and I got goosebumps on my arms. I couldn't help notice because my teacher is usually very calm, as he seemed very nervous and panicked as he ran to shut off all of the lights and shove us all into a corner. We all sat in silence for about 2 minutes, and the usual buzzing of the panel at the back of the room ceased, indicating that the power in the entire school had been shut off. We all looked at each other and then looked at the teacher, taking this very seriously. After about a few more minutes of waiting, we heard a noise out in the hallway. The guy who broke into the school was laughing hysterically in the hallway and was banging on the lockers. He was screaming and laughing hysterically when he said, "I'll kill all of you." That's when 2 girls in my class started crying. We're gonna die. All because of the lunatic man in the hallway. The pounding on the lockers got louder and louder as it moved closer to the door of our classroom. The 2 girls started crying so loud that the man outside the door actually heard them and yelled, "Open up this door!" And the girls replied back crying, saying, "No, please leave us alone. I don't want to die." The man kept pounding on the door, trying to get it to open until he finally returned it to the hallway. Minutes later, the speaker went off and started saying that when the man broke in, a woman in the office saw him come out of the janitor's closet and started to scream and went to call the police. The janitor must have done something silly like forget to lock the door, giving the lunatic a place to hide until everyone was in their classrooms. When the police arrived, the man was gone. Until this day, I'm hoping that the man is not planning on hiding in someone else's school. Oh, you're still here. Wow, I'm surprised you made it to the end of the story. If you made it this far, I am proud of you. You are officially a dragon. So, what did you guys think? Which one of the 3 stories was your favorite? Which one was the creepiest? And next time there's a school lockdown, don't forget, sometimes things can go wrong. Dragon Army, thank you for watching that video. Make sure you hit that subscribe button to join the Dragon Army today. Smash that like button, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace!